This bloody thing's driving me nuts. Keeps giving me fecking type 11 errors. I had this problem last time with the damn thing. I don't know what solved it. I have no idea what solved it back when I first got it. In fact, I left it for about 6 months until I fixed it then. So it sat in my attic. I was playing around with Adobe version 2 last night, Premiere Pro. Because I've just bought it recently to have a mess around with. And as usual, my Power Mac 7100 wants to be a bitch. Mine's all... it's messed up on the back. This is the Power Mac 7180. And I've actually just, if you can see, the PRAM is there. If I can get it angled right, just behind the PRAM is the actual Sims. I did have 80 odd meg installed, but I decided, reading up, type 11s can be caused by inconsistent RAM types on Macs. So I've switched it to 2 of the same, so it's got 64 meg in chip, and on the board it has something like 12. Giving me a grand total now of 74 meg-ish. I'm just going to initialize the drive again, copy over the basic system setting, and then I'm putting the damn thing back in the attic. I'm going to work on my 486 some more again now, and actually get the Video Blaster working properly. Or I'll continue building my L2 Stormvik model. Who knows? I quite like, there's 2 types of computer users, as most people say. You got your Mac or your Apple boys, and you got your Windows boys. Well, I don't like that generalization, because I've used both on and off for, well, since I started using computers. There are things I like about Mac. Or Apple, depending on how you want to say them now. To me, they're always going to be Macintosh or Apple computers anyway. But saying that Macs never go wrong, it must either be me on how I use it. This damn thing never goes right. When I bought it, I can't remember, I think it still had its original 2-speed CD-ROM drive, so that got took out for a compatible enough CD rewriter capable one, or a more modern one. It's not the AV. If anyone can tell me the name of the card that came with it, with the 2 megabyte AV connections, please do. I would be interested in having one to turn it into one. I would also be interested in any kind of new bus cards. Even something daft like another sound card or something, although they didn't tend to do that. Because this damn thing's pissing me off. I'll copy a basic set over and then bollocks to anything else for now, until I can be bothered to play around with it. If this was a PowerPC compatible, which I would be interested as well in getting one, just as a curiosity, I've always wanted to install Windows NT to it, basically, and to see what that's like. I've also had to switch it to my NEC Multisync 1570NX, which was sitting partner next to my main machine, because the Samsung cannot work at queer Mac resolutions and refresh rates. I haven't a clue what it's currently running at. One days I'll have to get a better camera. 832 by 624 at 50 Hz horizontal, 75 vertical, so it's 75 Hz. That's why I like this NEC. If I really could, I would like to use this as the main monitor I use for testing on, rather than the Samsung. And then I'd either sit that next to the main PC, use it as my main monitor, or play the PS3 on it, instead of on the Trinitron. Right. Right, that's as far as I care. So I'm shutting this down and it's getting boxed up and going back in the attic. And just as an addition to the video, here is its keyboard. Dirty, it's had stickers on it at some point. It's missing a stubby thing. Well, it's a nice affirmative action. Apple Extended Keyboard 2, model M3501, copyright 1995. The Apple bus cable, which goes into the keyboard. Apple bus mouse. Apple desktop bus mouse 2. Which plugs into the keyboard. You've got either side. So I tend to obviously plug the mouse in the right. I have Ethernet adapter for the Apple Bus Network, whatever it was called again. I believe, yes, it's called a Friendly Net. Asante Friendly Net. It's 10 megabits link for standard Ethernet. There's the Apple connector. But this style connector also had adapters for token ring and everything, at least by this point in Apple's life. Apple VGA cable adapter. Or should I actually say main monitor type to Apple monitor type to Apple monitor to VGA. I do not have any vintage Mac monitors. In fact, I have no CRTs at all anymore, which is why I always use that Samsung. I had to get rid of the CRT I had, the 21-inch CRT, which can be seen in an old Amstrad video. And that thing was awesome, but it was just too big. And the box itself. Now with its case all back on. You've got I think one's a reset and the other's like a power button, or it's supposed to be, I can't remember. I always use the keyboard or the back button here. This is actually a lot yellower when you see it. On my screen right now it's quite white, but it's fairly yellow. You've got link through for the monitor, main power in, fan. There's also a fan behind this grill area about here. In terms of the case wise, this way on I think sucking air through. Obviously that's the main power fan. You've got the, God, let me try and remember. That's Apple printer port. it's similar to a standard parallel port on a PC, but I believe the pin alignment's different. There's less pins. You've got the Apple network port, Apple monitor port. You've got Apple monitor port. As shown, it's like a fax modem port, telephone call port. I'm trying to remember. That's part of their own sort of custom. I can't remember the proper name for it, but that's part of the telephone suite, which comprises of them two mainly. You'd plug them into your modem or some external, your external modem. That would be the internal hookups. You've got Apple bus, sound out, microphone in, new bus ports, 4 back ones, but this one would be occupied on the AV model. Then you'd have 3 spare, although the case is a bit awkward, as can be seen. Nice chunk out of it there. This whole side is just loose, although with it being sat in the chair it's a bit more sturdier. Bottom corner's gone, and that's annoyed me since I got it. It's actually had one good knock at some point. Took them all of it off, but whatever. It's going to get boxed up. It's going to get boxed up, and then I shall do something else.